This cold weather, though, sticking around as I give you a live look over downtown Indianapolis this morning. Thanks for waking up with us here on 13 Sunrise at 6 o'clock, your Thursday morning. And yes, another cold day out
Yes,
there.
which is why we're probably playing Frozen. I'm ready to just let it go. Like the song says, although we're about to get started back up again tomorrow, Chuck.
Well, you know, we're only 138 days away from the
I
Indy
know.
500, so
We really are just getting started, it feels like.
We're slowly but surely getting there, ladies. I'll tell you, it is really chilly outside this morning, and it's a hat, gloves, scarf, everything you got kind of day. If you're headed south again, and Matt's going to talk more about this, but we have had some what we believe is freezing fog, and it's so bad around the Ohio River. There's a freezing fog advisory this morning. Let's concern ourselves, though, with us here in the metro and a really chilly way to start the day. It's 7 in Indy, it's 1 degree in Zionsville, 4 in Greenfield, 6 in Shelbyville, 6 in Plainfield and Avon. Now our wind chill is 2 below zero here in Indy. There's not much wind out there, honestly, but where it picks up, of course, it's blowing over snow melt or snowpack, excuse me, and that's what chills the air. Let's go a little bit wider. 8 in Kokomo, 4 in Bedford this morning. And again, the wind chills 3 below zero in Shelbyville. Now, I'll tell you, we're very fortunate in one sense that it's not windy. But unfortunately, when it's not windy, that's when we have this freezing fog that forms. And certainly that's what's happening to our south. Now, we still may get a little bit colder this morning, 5 degrees by 9 a.m. and eventually a really nice jump. Unfortunately, that jump only takes us to 23. That's going to be our high today, and that is 13 degrees below the average high. And this is a cool trend that's going to continue. Wait till you see the 7-day outlook. We're below freezing for at least the next week. More on that in a few minutes. Let's get over to traffic this morning. Good morning, Matt. What do we got going on today?
We don't have any accidents, which is good news. But we do have some of that patchy freezing fog. Chuck, I want to show you some of these cameras that we're getting. This is out towards Wayne County.
Wow.
Good morning in Richmond. This is at the Williamsburg Pike exit. This is the one you would take there for Belden, there on the west side of the city. You can still see the snowpack, but the visibility is dropping right now in parts of Wayne County. Freezing fog can lead to a very thin layer of some ice, maybe on a railing or mailbox or your car handle, generally elevated surfaces. But it's not widespread. It's patchy, but where it is, it's kind of dense. For example, we've had this cloud now floating here for a while there towards the south side of Columbus. You're looking at I-65 south here in Columbus, and we'll continue to watch that very closely. But we'll show you some more patchy fog throughout the rest of the morning as it looks like it's slowly starting to thicken up. Julia?
All right, thank you. Well, right now, police in Kokomo are investigating a deadly crash that happened overnight on the city's east side there in Kokomo. It happened on State Road 931 and Vale Avenue. And this morning, we know at least one person is dead and another injured. We also know it was a Kokomo police officer involved in this crash.
You can see how bad this crash was from the video. We have reached out to Indiana State Police. They tell us they are still working the crash to find out exactly what happened. Now, the officer that was in that car that was badly banged up wasn't hurt. The other person who made it out of the crash, though, is being treated and is expected to be okay. We'll update you as soon as we learn more from police.
Right now, we're also working to find out more about what led to a deadly double shooting on Indy's east side.
It actually started as a welfare check that Metro Police were called to yesterday afternoon, but it quickly turned into a homicide investigation after they arrived. Police told 13 News they found a man and a woman shot to death inside of this home near 21st and Emerson. So detectives are still working to figure out exactly what happened here, but one neighbor says the people living next door to the home called police after they saw something that was out of the ordinary.
She said she had seen somebody coming out of the garage at 10 o'clock that night, and then at 10 o'clock the next morning, she noticed that the door had been opened and that Randy, our neighbor's truck, hadn't been gone for work yet.
Well, police are asking anyone in the area, maybe neighbors that have security video or doorbell cameras, to share information about this shooting or to come forward to help police.
Coming up on 6:05 this morning, we're looking to see if charges are being filed against 2 teenagers in connection to a shooting that happened at Castleton Square Mall. You might recall when this happened. It was last month. IMPD now re-arrested an 18-year-old who was shot along with another teen. This comes after police say additional evidence helped identify the victim that the 18-year-old was allegedly chasing at the time in the mall. The alleged victim claims self-defense in firing his own gun and again is not under arrest.
The mall has great video, which we're able to use to identify the individual and help support the claims made. Being able to identify the alleged victim of this crime was the added piece that we needed.
The 18-year-old faces a preliminary charge of intimidation with a deadly weapon. The second teen faces a preliminary charge of dangerous possession of a firearm.
Well, this morning, 2 people are under arrest for allegedly robbing a Dollar General store at gunpoint. This was Saturday morning near 10th and Sherman on the Near East Side. An employee says 2 people wearing masks and all black clothing came into that store, pointed a gun, and then demanded money from the clerk. A witness told police that they saw a white Ford sedan driving away from the store. A few minutes later, police received another call about 2 armed suspects at a Family Dollar just down the street. And the description of those suspects matched the men from the first Dollar General robbery. When police got there, they arrested an 18 and a 20-year-old. According to court documents, the suspects are also accused of robbing another Family Dollar last month.
Well, this morning, the Indiana Court of Appeals is upholding the convictions in the murder of an Indianapolis man. A judge sentenced Marcus Anderson and Nahi Shields and Elijah Jones in 2023 to spend the rest of their lives in prison. Anderson and Jones will spend 164 years in prison, and Shields is serving 108. A jury found them all guilty of killing Chris Beatty in May of 2020. Police believe the Cathedral High School graduate and former IU football player, who friends called Mr. Indianapolis, was simply trying to help someone from being robbed when he was shot and killed outside of his downtown apartment. The shooting happened during the protests and subsequent riots in Indy in response to the death of George Floyd by police officers in Minneapolis. Well, city-county leaders, that is now underway for the new year, and councilors wrapped up their first meeting last night.
They also voted on some new leadership. Many councilors are keeping their roles, including Bob Osley, who was once again elected council president. Allie Brown will serve a second year as vice president.
Maggie Lewis will be keeping her seat as majority leader, and Michael Hart will now be the minority leader, replacing Brian Mowry. And this morning, we're also getting a fresh look at redevelopment plans for the western portion of City Market in downtown Indianapolis. It's all part of the mayor's effort to revitalize that city block. Phase 1 focuses on converting a section of City Market into a public plaza. It includes tearing down the platform building to make way for a new plaza that will incorporate then the catacombs underneath the street. Also, the Gold Building will be revamped from offices to new apartments.
Really excited to unveil the first phase of this full block redevelopment in the heart of downtown Indianapolis, creating a public space for residents and visitors, and a really unique experience that downtown just doesn't currently have to offer.
The city is also working on upgrades for the rest of the block and new designs for the market itself. Construction should be done by the end of 2026. Well, the legislative session is underway now here in Indiana. It's a budget year, which means legislators will be working on the next financial plan for the state for the next 2 years.
And while lawmakers will be focusing on education, there is also another bill involving some Indiana school districts, including IPS. It's getting a lot of pushback this morning.
Our CN New Yorker is in studio with a closer look at that story. Good morning.
Good morning, ladies. House Bill 1136 says if more than half of the students in a school district go to a school outside the district would be dissolved and the schools would be turned into charter schools. Now, IPS is one of 5 districts named in the bill. That uses enrollment numbers from last year to determine which school districts are in the state's crosshairs. Lawmakers on both sides are reacting to this bill.
At the end of the day, my single biggest concern is that we, those schools, those charter schools, that again, in some instances are or literally have more kids in it than the district schools, are receiving no local property tax dollars. I don't know the justification or the explanation for that.
When they first came 20 years ago, they said they didn't need any more money. They said we can do it on our own. Now, as time's gone on, now they want to change their tone.
Now, some Democratic lawmakers seem to suggest that this bill was possibly a way to force a compromise in this budget session to try and get more property tax revenue going for some of those charter schools. Now, coming up on Sunrise at 6:30, hear about some of the other issues that lawmakers are looking into, like property taxes, which many Hoosiers believe are too high. I'll have that part of the story for you straight ahead.
Thank you, Sia. It is 6:10, a bitter cold start, and take a look at this. This is the outlook for tomorrow with winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings around the country. We'll have 1 to 3 inches with a winter weather advisory here and a winter storm warning in southern Indiana. Your forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Overdoses, assaults, rapes. That's just some of the issues that patients at 3 closed recovery centers experienced here in Indiana. Well, now there are some new concerns that these rehab centers may soon reopen. The story at 6:45.
Also this morning, firefighters in California battling with now 5 massive fires burning thousands of acres. The stunning pictures showing the damage coming up for you at 6:15.